Raise your hand, hold, and keep them up so that people can see you. These are the people if you have any questions. If you have any questions or you're interested in presenting or you're interested in volunteering, these are the people to talk to be able to explore that option. And for this morning's agenda, it's pretty simple. We're going to have one speaker come up. He's going to share for somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes. And then we have about 20 minutes of question and answer time. So as you're hearing the speaker, think about what questions you might want to ask him to engage more in understanding his business, getting to know him better. And when you do the question time, if you would, please, first of all, raise your hand when you want to ask a question. We're going to limit it to one question at a time. We have a really great size group here, so we'll keep it to one question. And if you would stand up so that we can see you and we can know who to capture. We also have video going at the same time. State your name and then ask your question. So we've got John Canter speaking this morning, and he comes to us from DC, moved here from Washington, DC, and has lived in Asheville for 7 years. He is an avid CrossFitter, and he's also a serial entrepreneur, has started several businesses, and is also a seasoned CFO. And I am excited to hear about his latest business and also see him showcasing his latest business. So let's welcome John up to the stage.
Guys, thank you for coming out this morning. I know it's bright and early. Coffee's fresh, so help yourselves. How many are just now starting to realize that throughout the day they're putting their coat on, they're taking their coat off, they're hot, they're cold, you're running in a chilly morning, getting in a warm car, going to the office, it's hot, it's cold, going out during the day to grab some lunch, chilly evenings on the rooftop with friends. And it's just not us feeling cold. 1 in 3 Americans identify as almost always cold. 50 to 70% of women are cold in the office. And cold has real implications. There is discomfort, fatigue, headaches, lost productivity. We know how hard it is to get out of bed sometimes when it's freezing in the mornings. Show of hands, who's felt this? Guys, right now, outerwear needs a glow up. Right now, we're constantly taking the jackets on, taking the jackets off. It's bulky. You can't wear this indoors. You're going shopping all day. What are you doing? You're taking it on. You're having to take it off. You're carrying it around all day. And these jackets aren't built for multiple clients. Going in, going out. And how many are just now realizing when you look into your car, you have one jacket for when it's cold, one jacket for when it's raining, one jacket just in case it gets a little chilly, and then that jacket in case we go out and we need a little sharper look. Guys, it's time for this industry to be disrupted. My name is John Canter, and I am almost always cold. And so I have invented EarthBae as the solution to my everyday problem. It's only October, and I wear this all day long. Come December, January, February, I'm freezing all the time. EarthBae comes in a kid size, a men's size. We have a heated hoodie, and then a women's. Each is tailored fit. Each comes with our own proprietary EarthBae battery. This battery will run 10 hours on a charge. It's battery agnostic as well. So if you do find yourself in a bind, you can pull out your Mophie that charges your phone. It'll give you about 2 to 3 hours. I've done it in a pinch in the airport, right, where I needed just a little bit of heat sitting on the airplane, and it worked perfectly. We're also very proud of our Eco Dispose program. We come to our website, fill out a form, we'll send you a self-mailed envelope. You put your EarthBae or any competitor battery in that bag, and we'll dispose of it with a third party. This way, we're carbon neutral, and we're making sure that these are recyclable in the environmental and most impactful way. Men's vest, EarthBae heated battery. Full charge. Plug in the side, plug in. It slides into the pocket. Zips for security. Pulls on. Hold down for 3 seconds, and it heats to the hottest temperature. Zip up. It has 4 coils, heated coils here, here, and in the back. 3 setting levels. This is the hottest. It'll typically stay on for about a minute, minute and a half until it hits heat temperature, and then it kicks down to a low. If it gets too hot too quickly, medium, low, or hot again. You can click through these as you want, as your temperatures swing and moves. That EarthBae battery, like I said, will give you 10 full hours on a low charge, probably 6 on medium and a good 5 on high. It'll last you a good 2 days, right? In typical everyday wear, I usually get a good 2 days on mine. It's about 7 hours of charge. So what was the inspiration, right? Everyday comfort, a premium look. There's heated outdoor gear there now. They're typically made for hikers, motorcyclists. That's really kind of the industry that they started in, is the motorcyclists. And then construction, right? You see a lot of construction guys having them in who work outdoors. I was looking for something that was 3-season flexibility. Something I could wear pretty much, 9 months of the year, right? Because I may be hot in the day, but man, it gets chilly when I go into the co-working space, or I go into that doctor's office, or into that retail shop. Modern, professional looking. There's nothing out there really that is dressed for professionals, for the everyday person going about their business, whether they're going to grab coffee in the morning, running errands, honey-do list, you name it. It's like a heated blanket on the go. And so when it does actually get cold, and I do actually snow here in Asheville, and we go out to have that big snowball fight, I can layer it. Or if I'm going skiing, it just continues to ride. Just extra little bit of heat. So building an e-commerce brand within an apparel company. It's been a good year and 4 months since the process kind of started. It was probably March or April of the following year when I kind of sat down with some friends and we said, all right, we got to go do this. And from that point forward, it was pretty much a lot of focus in terms of the amount of time that I spent trying to build this concept. Finding a manufacturer to produce these took a little bit of time, although it was much easier than I expected. There were some samples going back and forth in terms of, I gotta turn this thing down. There's some samples going back and forth in terms of what I was looking for, right? The first samples that they sent back to me were just huge, and to some degree, these are still big. I had some fit panels with my friends. We tested them. We put them through the paces. Sent samples back. Helene came. Right as I was beginning to make that manufacturing order, Helene came. I lost, I don't know, good 6 weeks, right? 3 weeks of surviving, a couple weeks to just try and get back up and running. And so that definitely placed an order. Pretty much 6 weeks after that, probably should have waited a little bit of time to give myself a little more headspace, right? Because I probably rushed that a little bit. They came in, I had my samples, shared them with friends, and we out and went a photo shoot. And we literally went around town, had a camera, I took some lessons beforehand, and we showed up, and we got some pretty cool pictures out of the 100 I took. I got 12, 13 good ones, and they pretty much were on my website from day one. We are now batteries. The batteries took me probably the longest amount of time. The batteries to get international compliance standards was very tricky. And that piece took the longest to find a reliable manufacturer that could give me the actual safety documentation. A second iteration of the product, right? Because like 135% tariff at one point, I just had to, allocate capital. And I wasn't sure if I was really gonna pay that 135% if those batteries came in. We were launched September 6th. It was kind of the official launch date. We had a great party over at Devil's Foot. Vetcher Asheville helped put it on, Hatch as well. And then there was a couple of self-inflicted lessons, right, as I kind of reflect back in terms of what would I do differently. More of a real fit kind of user panel, right? I pushed that through pretty quickly. I'd probably take my time in getting multiple samples this time. It was I was new, right, for this manufacturer, so to some degree, they were a true partner for me, and we'll find out later, but I also didn't know what I didn't know, right, going through this for the first time, and they were tremendously helpful to get me to the point where I am, but I definitely will have a better, authority, I guess, or confidence to push back a little bit and say, let's do this. Complexity, man, you just name it, right? Like you just have to begin to build it up, and just that learning curve for me to kind of even get my head around how to do it, even before outsourcing it, was just a bigger lift than I was expecting. And then resourcefulness, man, I learned to lean on my local network and friends, right, for testing, feedback, kind of being cheerleaders, right, and really kind of leverage that network and embrace that network, right? That's tough too sometimes when people are actually trying to help you. You're like, thank you, but all right. So 100% appreciate this network. And like I said, internal setbacks, Helene, and the tariffs, and so what set us up for success? Well, I was lucky. I found a partner in my manufacturer. They just embraced me, right? I was very upfront in the very beginning in terms of what I was doing, what I was trying to do, where I was at in my business stage. And they just kind of took me under their wing and said, we've done this before. We've seen this before. My success and the brand success. Actually, the one who introduced me to manufacturer because battery as well as hired Amazon and Shopify experts. They just kind of took my branding, right, and scaled it up. They were able to bring additional resources that I didn't have, right? They run my PPC, and they have really helped me kind of clean up my listings and really bring it to what I would call a brand page versus me creating it myself. I love the pictures that we have, but I don't do the Illustrator, right? I'm not doing Photoshop. I'm just throwing them up there, and you get what you want. And the Asheville Network. Oh, AI agent automation. This is another critical piece. So I worked with a couple AI experts and created a workflow that automates my social automation for me across 4 different channels. So I post on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, EarthBae, LinkedIn, John Canter, founder. And this automation really allows me to generate 2-3 weeks worth of content at a time for all of those social platforms, approve them. There's some, adding pictures and stuff like that, but the lever that allows me to do, right, is just astronomical, because really when you think about my business, it's those first 3 are the big levers, right? Manufacturing, getting us everything over in time, selling, right, which is primarily Amazon and Shopify for me, and then social, right? I'm a new brand. I've got 21 followers now, probably on Instagram, right? And so building that up just continues to take a lot of time. And then what set me up, again, this network, embrace it, and I truly appreciate it for everything it's done. So why does EarthBae win? Well, we are truly battery agnostic, but we do love this EarthBae International battery. It is certified to be shipped anywhere. It is international travel approved, and it has every safety standard that anyone can require. Professional style, always sharp, and then we're really the only eco-disposed program where we will take existing batteries and make sure that they are disposed of. No other brand checks all those boxes. So where are we? Where are we going in Q4? Well, we launched on September 6th, like I mentioned. We're selling on Amazon. We're selling on earthbaewear.com. Ramping up. We really just now got some of the listings and kind of that piece set up so that we can now start sending people to the websites. Scheduling digital ads, right, for really zero-click content for discovery, right? That's really that social automation. I'm posting once a day on all my socials. And then I've got to move the inventory by the end of holiday season, right? Land 3 to 4 premium locations. Will be in the Asheville Chamber store. And then we're talking to a couple other local providers as well in the area. And then we're just trying to generate press and get some publication, get our name out there. Our vision for 2026 as we kind of look through this, right? Well, we're seasonal, so remember that, right? So you can see where we're going to expand the product lines, right? It's vest and heated hoodies now. They come in extra small to extra large, right? So think of the amount of inventory that I had to buy up front with that capital. But you can see once it sells through, the next extension would be long sleeve jackets, new vest designs, and then we also, because we have the heated hoodie, we could potentially do heated sweatpants, right? So you have a full gear. And we're testing some of this out now. Regional wholesale spend into some larger retail locations by next year, seeing if we can't target some college campuses, right, as well. And then aspirational, right, as we look kind of into 2026 and 2027, is an international launch in 1 or 2 countries. EarthBae is now trademarked in 24 countries, and I have 24 domains for those countries. And so that includes North America, which would be US and Canada, EU, UK, which would include Spain, Italy, Germany, France, UK, right? So we've covered the majority of the larger populous countries, and we'll look to start to expand into those geographics as we can. And then really start to kind of make this eco-disposed program worldwide, right? So as we launch into new countries, we like to keep that eco-disposed program intact for those countries so that we continue to be carbon neutral across the world. So how can you help, right? Please follow, cheerlead, connect, right? This is our Instagram page. You can see our website. Here's my other social handles for you. But please, follow us on Instagram, share, tell a friend, and help us spread this word so that we can keep everyone warm.
let's have some question and answer time. Who would like to start us off? Cool.
Hello, my name is Andrew. I just wanted to ask, what does the BAE stand for, or does it stand for anything? BAE?
Yeah, BAE, it's slang, I guess, for my love, right? And so, love of Earth, right? And which is why we're so steadfast on the Eco-Dispose program and really making sure that that is a success and scalable. And we make sure that because of that Eco-Dispose program, we just don't take EarthBae batteries. We'll take competitor batteries. We'll take any batteries that you send us, right? That third party doesn't necessarily care what battery it is, right? They just recycle all batteries. So, we're 100% trying to free the Earth of as many batteries as we can.
Hi, my name is Alan. When you talk about being carbon neutral, what all goes into that? Now, I used to work in sustainability, so if they don't work for, they want to be net zero, but include the scope 1, scope 2, scope 3 emissions. Can you talk a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so really for the heating industry, there's two pieces to that puzzle. One is how you warm the coat, right? You can warm, there are coils in here, right? The coils run through here. You can run copper through there, or you can run graphene. And graphene is a little bit more environmental friendly, right, than copper, and it heats evenly across, more so than copper does. And then the other is the Eco-Dispose program, right? So we know that we are creating batteries, right, that we need to environmentally dispose of. And so the way to do that, again, is just the Eco-Dispose program. So making sure that we are promoting that in a way that as soon as someone buys an EarthBae vest, heated hoodie, or coat in the future, they automatically know, as soon as this battery dies, I'm going to send it back to EarthBae.
Hi, I'm David. Great product, thank you for showing it to us. I was curious about if I'm on a hike on a weekend and it didn't check the weather, so it's pouring rain the whole time, or I have to wash this thing, how's it hold up?
Yeah, 100%. I'm wearing mine in the rain. Don't get electrocuted, right? The beauty of it is it will get dirty, right? It'll take a beating. Just take it out, right? Pull the battery out, remove it, take it off, throw it in a wash, throw it in the dryer, put it back on, right? It's made to be worn. It's made to be tested, and it's washable, and it'll hold up well. If not, let me know. We'll exchange it.
Hi, my name's Ray, and you kind of answered my question already, because I was going to say, I'm unfamiliar with this product you call graphene. I understand the tensile strength of copper, and you were going to, I guess, put copper coils in there, but you found a superior product. What's like the tensile strength, the flexibility, the wearability of this product you're calling graphene compared to the standard like copper wire?
That is a way too technical question for me. I could chat GPT and get back to you, but yeah, like, I'm not gonna hear him BS you on strength and all that, right? At the end, like, graphene, you're gonna start seeing graphene come across a lot more heating units, whether it's heated chairs, right? Because it's just it condenses warmer, right? And copper is just so expensive right now. That to make these coats in copper with the inefficiencies that it has, it just doesn't make sense right now. This is the future.
Hey, I'm Tim. Nice to meet you. I was wondering if you could just talk a little bit more about the development of those AI workflows for your social media posting platforms.
Yeah, so I thought I was being really smart when I started my social content, and I go into GPT and I give something, and I take it into GPT and I put it into schedule it, and then go back to GPT and do it again and again and again. I thought, oh man, it's just out, right? You're trying to post as much as I am to just and had this idea of, all right, well, if I'm doing this in GPT and then it goes from GPT into Recurro Post, well, this is an automation piece that should happen, right? And so I work with him. We essentially what that allows me to do is I have a manual prompt, right? So I can say schedule October 2nd through October 20th, right, content. It has all my brand, book, John Canter book. It has assistants, so it knows to feed content into essentially these independent assistants. And each of those assistants is a Facebook or an Instagram content provider. So think of it as essentially built my own agency, right? I have someone that feeds these individual assistants, and then it spits out however many posts I want. Goes into Airtable, is the database that we're using. And from Airtable, I can approve it. It goes in a recur post and just goes post out. So I can easily create 2 weeks of content in 35 minutes through GPT. If I don't like it, I rewrite it. And it's just saved me enormous amounts of time, especially when you're trying to post as much as I am, just to feed the beast and the AI agents, right? It's been a lifesaver. And we actually spun it up into a separate company. I don't know if Corey's here. Corey is actually one now. We took it, it's essentially duplicatable, right? So the workflow is there. You can add in your credentials, and it works. And we got Corey insurance on it now, and he's been up and running for about 2 weeks. I've got 2 training sessions with him because he doesn't know how to use GPT. I don't know if Corey's in here. He won't mind me saying that. So I've been training him a little bit on GPT and the workflow model, but it's going smoother than I expected. So yeah, if anybody's interested, let me know. It's actually been a huge help.
Hi, John.
Hello.
Maybe this is too personal a question, but for anybody starting or interested in starting an e-commerce brand, how much did it cost to have, in both time and money, to go from the initial idea to finding a manufacturer, to vetting that manufacturer, to actually getting that vest in your hands?
Yeah. So, I mean, it took me, like I said, a year plus a couple of months. I mean, time. I mean, the bulk of my time, outside of a couple of fractions. Well, inventory, right? That was 6 figures, right? Just to get enough inventory to go to market across the 4 different product units, right? So, I'm probably in, easily low 6 figures right now. But the bulk of it is inventory, right? And so I know I have the inventory. I know there's capital there that I can sell. And, whether I make a profit or I just recoup my money this go around, we'll see. But yeah, it's not for, it's not for the weak. Apparel is a different beast, I'm finding. Or as is with any kind of product company, right? Where you've got to put money up first to get that product to be able to then sell it, right? It's always the juggle, especially when you're growing, which is a good sign, but then it just needs more capital.
Hi, I'm Justin. Thanks for sharing today. I'm curious to know what your current exit strategy is and if that's changed from the inception to this current point, even if that is the retirement business.
Oh, yeah. So I am building this company for somebody to buy it from me, right? I'm going to have fun with it. It'll have its legs as long as it goes. But in terms of my exit strategy, I want to build a company that somebody looks at me and says, I want to buy that from you. And that's when I'm going to get the highest price. And I know that it is going to go to somebody who loves it just as much as I do, right? At some point, I will look to exit, but my hope is that
Hi, I'm Bill. Great presentation. I appreciate that. I want to go back.
Yeah.
You've talked about disposing or recycling batteries. What about the supply chain? Is there? And the other is, I've heard about batteries first in flame, about all the regulatory approvals. Is your battery free of that danger?
Yes. Well, here's what I can say, right? I've got international safety certificates for these batteries, right? So I can sell these and ship these internationally, right? That was my idea from the get-go. You saw me trademark in 24 countries. So the idea that this is going to get expanded. And so the batteries, internationally safety tested, they have surge protection in them. They have an auto-off feature. I've covered all the bases that I know how to cover to make sure that they do not go up in flames in your luggage when you're in an airplane. But I can sit here pretty confidently and say it won't happen.
How about the supply?
Chain is probably a bigger piece than I am right now, right? Like I'm a small cog in that supply chain. I think what you're going to find as I work with the battery manufacturer is the size of these batteries will come down, right? The wattage will stay the same, but the evolution of the batteries, they'll just get smaller and smaller. That footprint will get smaller and smaller. But regarding supply chain, they still get shipped over, by freight, and will continue. There's pieces of supply chain that I'm a cog in, right? I'm too small to make a difference.
Thank you.
I love it. How much are they?
$149 with the battery. You can get them on Amazon, or you can get them on EarthBaeWear.com. It doesn't matter to me. They're all fulfilled and shipped by Amazon, right? They handle all of my fulfillment. So it's same warranty, same 2-day delivery.
I have a testimonial and a question. I love EarthBae. I have been wearing it for over a year now. I've had the pleasure of being one of the testers. And I'm from South Florida. I hate being cold. I'm part of that statistic. It keeps me warm all winter. I have gone to sleep in it when I've needed a good blanket. I have used it for other things that I won't share out loud, but it keeps me alive. Really great too. But my question is, I'm also really interested in your eco-dispose program, and how much does that cost you per transaction, basically, or per customer?
Yeah, it's about $15 per battery for me to ship it to you, and then you put it in and it ships directly to the manufacturer, and it's about a $12 charge per battery. Well worth it though, I think.
Okay, hi, my name is Peter. My question is back to the slide that said why we win. Could you add to that unique design I know patents are very expensive and complex to get, but a patent application, for example?
I could look into getting a patent right now. It's hard, I think, because I'm still evolving, right? I haven't quite necessarily, it's my first iteration, right? And this is going to go through another glow up itself. For instance, here's another design that I'm testing out now, right? That for next year, right? Different thing, little block, right? Testing out the logo on the back, so patenting is one thing, but being able to narrow down on being able to figure out that fit and design and make that patentable, I think I'm a long way off, just because I'm still evolving and figuring these things out.
No one of the slides. Sorry. My name is Ron Deshay. I know you mentioned corporate gifting as one of your things. How is that already available? Is that something that is in the process of being available? Maybe share a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we've gotten a lot of inquiries from companies, right? Seeing if they could co-brand something for employees or corporate executives and all that. So we're actually working with Asheville T-shirt company right now, right, to see if they can't go ahead and do that. We've got a couple of companies like Venture Asheville, Optimus, Pirani, Lazy Tiger, Asheville Wellness Force, who's giving me their logo, and we're seeing if we can't have Asheville T-shirt print them on. And then we've had a couple of other, like Asheville Beloved has reached out, Chamber has reached out. I'm trying to get them embroidered, but well, that's what we're seeing if we can do it. There's a wire right here, but they're pretty confident they can do it. I think the embroidery is a more professional look maybe, but we may need to do, we'll see what we can do. It's really what their capabilities are. But they've been a good partner. So coming soon is the answer.
Hey, John.
Hey, Rick.
I'm Rick. I have my EarthBae Wear cup, by the way. Full support. So Chris and I over the weekend were up at a wedding in New England, and I had the pleasure of taking care of my in-laws, elderly in-laws, in their 80-degree house, in their 100-degree car, sweating my ass off, and we were thinking, wow, it would be perfect for them to have these jackets, because as elderly people, very common, they're always cold. And you were talking about 2026 and going in the college market, and I'm thinking, they're warm. How about the elderly market would be a really prime spot? Have you thought about that at all?
I have an 82-year-old mom who, yes, 100%, right? Yeah, it's, nursing homes, right? Trying to get into some of the hospitals, right? Or doctors' physician offices, right? When my mom goes to any number of her appointments that she has right now, I usually slide the doctor a vest, right? Because I know that they're going to wear it, and it just begins to give a little bit more visibility around that office. And it just seems to be a target market for sure.
Hi, my name is Sue. My comment is don't bother trying to market to the elderly people or those facilities that don't have really the budgets for any of that kind of thing. Market to us, the children of those parents who don't want to sit in the 100-degree.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, my name's Eric. I just had a question about the battery. Are you required to dispose of them because you sell them, or no?
No, you're not required to dispose of them once you sell them. I mean, how many people have thrown their own batteries away, right, in the trash? I mean, it just happens. Yeah, that's the crazy thing. Once it's out of my hands, I'm not really responsible for the environmental piece of it, and that's kind of what we're trying to change that narrative.
Hi, I'm Karen. I'm wondering if you use AI to build your website?
My website, yeah, 100%. I use AI. I mean, it's part of my social marketing AI piece. You can even see, as you go through this slide deck, these are all AI-generated pictures. Right? This is all, I did this all in AI. And it primarily comes through my workflow. But yeah, 100%. Because I just cannot create this much content.
How long does it take? Website?
Oh, the website? Well, there's a presentation. The website's, the website took me initially to get up and running because I used Shopify. I didn't really know Shopify, so I built the first website because I had to visualize the image, right? What EarthBae as a brand looked like. So that's when we did the photo shoot. 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 That's when we did weeks to build that website, to get content and get it set up to the where, and then it just sat there, right? Because I knew I had a website there that was drawing no traffic, but it was there, and it got to a place where I was 80% comfortable with it. I spent my time doing it, and then about 6 weeks ago, I hired a firm that Amazon and Shopify firm that I mentioned earlier, who's helping me. They really then came in and said, okay, let's work to build out a real brand and make this something that we can drive PPC to, and it's going to convert. And so they probably spent, I don't know, 25 hours, 30 hours on that website, right, getting it to the point where it is, and my Amazon listing. I'm a Amazon A+ brand, right, registered brand. So they also did my Amazon brand listing and content, all that. So there's probably about 30 hours all in to do all of that. And it's just now getting completed to the point where we're in season now, so everybody's like, game time. And we've got the back end, we've got the website set up. Now it's see how much traffic we can draw.
Last question. Sorry, my name is Lisa. I'm curious because this is such a fascinating use. With AI, have you or your team encountered any kickback or anything where because it's AI generated, penalized in any way or just kicked
kicked off the site or anything where it, because it was AI generated, you faced some censorship? That's the wrong word, but.
Yeah, no, I mean, in the beginning, I got some ridicule from my friends because my images were just crap, right? Like, it was just a guy wearing a vest and it looked like a robot. No, I have not. If you ask AI is everywhere now, right? You just don't notice it. They've integrated it into so many applications that this isn't really doing anything different. If you go to Buffer, if you go to Recur-a-Post, right, one of the schedulers, you can now have them write your post in AI. There's a section in Recur-a-Post where before I approve it, I have a post in there. I can say, rewrite with AI within Recur-a-Post, give it a little prompt, it'll rewrite it, insert, and send it out. So AI is really the future, right, in terms of the content that we need to provide, because the zero click is real, right? ChatGPT just announced that they're going to take payments for Etsy and Shopify directly. So just like Google did previously, right? You're not going to leave GPT or Claude or anything. You're going to shop and you're going to say, I'm cold all the time. And it's going to say, EarthBae. You're going to say, oh, great, click, buy it, and you'll never leave GPT. And so what I have decided to do, and again, understand that I don't have any content. I'm brand new, right? So my game may be different than what your game is, right? But I am feeding the beast, right? Because if you ask GPT, AI wants structured content, and with the conversational, you want to be able to feed the algorithms any kind of scenario that you can think of, right? And so what my workflow does is allow me to say, hey, here's 8 different branding messages that I want you to do, and one a day you do. It's educational, it's informative, whatever it is, authority. But I target the algorithm so that I know that it's eating the content that it's potentially going to be searchable later. And so no, you're actually rewarded for it. And then, just real quick, because I'm learning a lot, right? But the automation piece is great, right? That feeds daily content for socials. Pretty, takes me about 4 or 5 hours on a Saturday. In my morning, I get up, I'm all creative, right? I schedule 2 weeks of posts at a time. Takes me about 4 or 5 hours to do with the workflow, right? Because I have an output, I've got to read it. But that's about 80% of the content that I'm trying to generate, right? The other 20% is authentic content in real moments, right? After this, I'm going to ask everybody to come up on stage with me. We'll have somebody take a picture, right? I'm going to post that so that we'll all remember this, and it is authentic, right, for EarthBae. But the other thing I'm really focused now on is Reddit and YouTube, right? Because if you go into any Google search, you're going to see Reddit is referenced #1 because it's real time, right? It's current, even though most of the Reddit posts are 7 years ago, right? But that's an easy one. And then YouTube. YouTube videos, right, is another authentic content. YouTube is about the only platform that I've seen who has said we are going to prioritize authentic content and not this AI stuff, right? So that's the only one. I'm just ramping those up myself, but that automation allows me to focus time on there as well.
All right, let's thank Don for coming to speak to us.
Oh, this is going to be, I know, cheers. Oh, thank you.
All right.
Okay, so I know what I'm getting my dad for Christmas. He lives in Wisconsin. He loves being outside, and he's getting a little colder. So I'm top Christmas gift for my dad. Who else here is getting one for someone? I mean, let's go. This has been really inspiring to see you build this brand, John. And your use of AI and how you're sharing all of that information is awesome. I love the way that you've thought above everything where you're like, I'm gonna get all of the pieces in motion as fast as possible. So you're already like, you're not getting caught in the weeds like so many entrepreneurs do, especially straight out of the gate. And that's also really inspiring. So let's give it up for John. All right, so we are looking for a couple more organizers to join the team with video and tech assistance. Brian is working like a madman over there. He is making the most cool videos with 3 different cameras. Bing, bing. There's another one. Bing. So that we're getting 3 angles in real time being uploaded to YouTube. Pretty cool, right? He's leveled up our game. So if you have an interest in learning more about it, or if it's like a passion for you that you actually are really good at and want to share some knowledge, please let us know. I think we've all, as organizers, raised our hands, but we can do it again. So see somebody right afterwards. Yeah, or go directly to Brian. He would love that. And then we're also looking for a couple of volunteers to help with setup, cleanup, and that sort of thing. And as always, we're on the Bring Our Own Mug initiative. It used to be like we used to put out cups and wash them. I hate dishes. And our first presenters here were Karani. Can I just like say, can I do this for just a second? So we started 1 Million Cups 3.5 years ago, and we had met Danielle and Brandage, and I was like, will you guys come and do this? And they're like, what is it? And we're like, we don't really know. We're just gonna do it. And here we are 3.5 years later. So would you mind saying a little bit about how 1 Million Cups has affected your business? Where you started, where you are in sales and all the things?
I'm going to stand off to the side. I'm not going to stage. Let's do it official. No. Ignore Jeff. Oh my gosh. I'll stand in front of the stage. I'm pretty tall. Yeah, so we moved here from South Florida 2021. We had no idea what we were doing. We were one of those COVID transplants. We actually met, who was it, Danielle? In-law from Christine from Ginger's Revenge. And we were standing in line, and she's like, you should go to Hatch and do 1 Million Cups. And I was like, I don't know what either of those are. Long story short, we reached out, and we presented, and we had no idea what the heck we were doing. Almost immediately after, somebody in the crowd was like, hey, you should join Elevate. And so I went and talked to the guy over here. He told us to piss off. He was a heck of a thing. But it did help us launch in a lot of areas. We didn't really have any connection to any of the small business. South Florida is a much bigger place than Asheville, but the community here is just crazy. A lot of it is centered around organizations like 1 Million Cups for sure. So,
What's your business?
oh gosh, I'm like way too presentive today. So we are Brawny. We sell insulated drinkware, and so yeah, that's what we.
And when you presented at 1 Million Cups, your sales then and where you are?
The year we launched, or the year we presented, I think we did like $50,000 a year, and now I think we're on pace to be 5 years in a row at 100% growth, 6 years, something like that. Yeah, so we were in a basement, probably a quarter the size of this room, and now we have 10,000 square feet and 12 employees. So, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to make them dinner or something for that. All right, big thanks to our sponsors, Charlie and Troy Ball, who generously donate the space each week, Western Carolina University, SCORE, Patrick O'Kane with EOS Systems, ERC Broadband, bringing us the awesome Wi-Fi every single moment of every day, Brick Creative, who does our social media, our newsletter, all of our marketing. Say, Britt, let's give her a shout out back there. And Tyler, who's over there. Yep, Tyler with Brick Creative, Brit & Co. Hatch Co-working, that's us. Dynamite Coffee Roasting, Bear, the Berkshire Garside Group, and Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses. Okay, and this is one of the So next week we have Our Voice, and it is Kelly who's with the chamber. She's going to be, I guess she's on the board, and they're going to be presenting all about their initiatives with Our Voice. As we all know, human trafficking is like one of these things that people don't talk about too much, and we don't know what it is, but they are advocating to make all people safe every day. So I'm excited to hear about what they have going on. On Thursday, what are you doing at noon? Paul, what are you doing at noon on Thursday?
I was actually really thinking about coming out to the yoga meet.
Come to yoga. Come to yoga. So I'm trying to get some lunchtime classes going at Cultivate, and they've done a couple pop-ups. So this Thursday, come and join us from 12 to 12:45. I'm going to bring some cold lavender towels for Savasana, and then you can power flow into your afternoon. Love it. Okay, so if you have questions, let me know, but you just go over to Cultivate, or you can sign up on their website. Additionally, we have 828 Lead happening this weekend. This is an initiative that we did through AY Pros. We are looking for future leaders of our region. With that, it's a weekend boot camp for anybody that wants to run for office or is interested in civic leadership. We are totally full. We've had an incredible response, and we put together the program with like Martin Moore, Maggie Allman, Esther Mannheim, and we are really, really excited that it's all come together. If you would like to volunteer, I think I've got a little QR code coming up. So let's see. But before we go to that QR code, Jeffrey, Venture Asheville Innovation Summit happening at Bernardo Circus Tent. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Go on stage.
Nice job, John. Screw you, Ron Yeah, our annual Innovation Summit this year, in the past we've had speakers like the Global Head of Sustainability for Amazon or the former CEO of GE. This year we're bringing in the ringmaster and founder of Bernardo Circus, Kevin Bernardo's, who scaled this little circus from a red pickup truck at a flea market in Florida, just like you guys. That's how Protege and Danielle met. And now they have 2 crews, 500 shows a year, and so that alone is a pretty amazing lesson, to scale a customer experience and a continuity of culture across 2 separate crews crisscross the country all year long. He's also going to talk about his personal entrepreneurial journey. He started Ringling Brothers as an elephant rider and ringmaster. This is a no animal circus, by the way. In between like segments of his keynote, there'll be performances from the circus. There'll be juggling, aerial acts, and acrobatics mixed in. So when he's talking about balance and balancing work-life balance, you will have like a duo behind him doing crazy stuff. If anybody go last year to Bernardo's in Weaverville right after the hurricane? What they did last year was pretty amazing, how they brought the community together to bring back some joy and fun to an area that was so obviously decimated. So we're talking about that too. What does it take to spread a culture of joy and fun? So I really hope you'll be there to learn from Kevin and see some performances. That's 8:30 a.m. till 9, like coffee and networking. And then at 9 we'll start the keynote. And we're doing it in the big top of this circus tent to ourselves. Hope to see you then. Thanks.
So Jeff, are you going to be like trapezing or anything like that? I mean, I'd really like to see it. So that's my vote.
I'm going for Canter.
I love it. So this is the 828 Lead volunteer sign up. We have different slots, so you don't sign up for the whole weekend. You can sign up for Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, or Sunday afternoon. Feel free to get out your phones and snap it. Don't be shy. And it is sponsored and catered by Strata and Jamali, so the food is going to be fire. All right. If you didn't get a chance to check in when you first came, this is the opportunity. And we want to say thanks so much for coming. We hope that we get to see you again next week and go forward. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow for yoga, also at Cultivate from noon to 12:45. Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm going to take a quick picture if anybody wants to do that.
Yeah, everybody up front, take a picture. All in.